Alright, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another Open Major Qualifying video on this fine Monday. Got some content for you guys, so it should be good. Starting at 2054 ELO today, and we'll see how high or low we can get. But yeah, I'm going to need some help going into week 3 and 4. I'm going to need to make a bigger push. Probably if I get to 2100, we should be okay in general, but we'll see how that goes at the end of the day. The best I can do is try my best, and if we don't make it, then we don't make it. That's just how it goes sometimes. But yeah, let's hop into the games here. All right, hop into our first game here against Jewel at 1925. Starting off here in round 1. And we've got an Oman to start, it looks like. Interesting dirt road. Yeah, I wasn't really sure where to place this one. It definitely looked more western. We couldn't see any mountains in any direction. So obviously with that, western is a good chance. But I end up just hedging like in the middle of these ring roads, I think, is where I click. Let's see exactly where I decide to go. Yeah, just kind of there. Just kind of hedging for everything. It ends up being this white road here. Probably a noble road, but not for someone that hasn't really practiced Oman, such as myself. It is a pretty big country, so there is opportunity for some points, but it happens. All right, this one, pretty standard louse here, but with the mountains and the car, for some reason I go to Semeneket first, but I realize there's no mountain there, so he should be going to Paxe, which makes a lot more sense with the mountains, especially the one here. I click that, I'm like, okay, it's not a, like, okay, I mean, I should be faster with this, realistically, but it's not like it would have made a difference, because I think Jewel finds this anyway. That angle is obviously incorrect. I scan there. Is there any? And then we scan more east, and then we find it. I mean, it's super findable, and realistically, should just be 5k in that one fast, but it happens. We get the double 5k there, so no points. We jump into round 3. In Po Valley, white car, long antenna Gen 3. There's kind of like haze on the camera as well, and the mountains with that architecture there, and that's an Italian pole there, kind of like the similar to the one that you get in Romania. Yeah, it ends up being Po Valley all the way up there. Does that still count as Po Valley? Probably does. Northeast of Venice. Yeah, I didn't really want to commit, but maybe I should have. Round 4. Drop into this round, which I don't know what happened to me on this round. Like, it looks general Appalachia, I think. With the trees, it's very hilly. But for some reason, I didn't realize that the lines were that thick. So I was trying to place this, like, I was like, okay, I guess the lines aren't that thick, so I guess I can't be clicking West Virginia here, so I just go for a general hedge of Appalachia. But it actually just is thick lines. Looking at it again, I can clearly see that it's thick lines, but it happens. We had not played Geo all week, so playing this after like 2 days of not playing Geo, I kind of just hopped straight into the duels as well, so not to say that's my cope, but yeah, I probably definitely could have played better. All right, this one, just a general like middle America feel, especially with like these fenced off like green fields. That barn over there looks general Appalachia as well. So we end up clicking in Kentucky, just a general hedge. It ends up being south of Illinois, or Indiana actually, but yeah, I guess it wasn't really Appalachia, but it definitely felt like that Kentucky, Tennessee area. We hop in around 6 here. With perpendicular insulators to the road. So I'm automatically thinking with this double yellow line that we should be going Nova Scotia here. I didn't recognize that this was the ocean to our north here. I guess I looked at it very briefly, but it was pretty hilly. So I was like, okay, Cape Breton seems like an okay slam, but I realized we don't have like the fogginess on the front of the cam, so maybe it was a bit of a troll slend. But yeah, it just ends up being like north coast of Nova Scotia there, but we still pick up some good points. So not too bad there. Not a bad result. Round 7, 2.5. All right, this one is a little bit of a funny one. Like, we have Coconut Palm Spam. It's 2024 copyright. We're clearly in Indonesia, driving left, white center line, which is a little abnormal, but maybe this is more of a thing in where it ends up being. Notice we have a symmetrical pole as well. So initial thought is North Sulawesi with the Coconut Palm Spam and such, but something about it feels off, especially with that mountain there. like to the northeast, a little bit of a weird angle. So I end up just hedging for Maluku. Yeah, and I circle that, and yeah, I mean, Jewel ends up committing, so it's a good commit by him. Ends up being Maluku. So luckily the water hedge pays off. Like, we don't lose as many points off of that. So moving around 8. This one, well, we'll see what happens. All right, so I know it's Colombia or Ecuador probably, but I think the general like fast click with these huge mountains, dirt road is Colombia. But then you can see me realize, oh yeah, you saw me zoom in at the end there on like that Loja area, which is kind of the only place in Ecuador that kind of has mountains that look like that, dryness, Gen 3. So yeah, I kind of wish I had taken my time a bit more. I don't know if I'm sending that necessarily, but you never know. You never know. It is a bit of a risk because I feel like most players would just go Colombia there. All right, into this round with this like segmented roadway, I guess, is how best to explain it. Like concrete blocks. You can see the lines in between like the segments of the road. Extremely common in Iowa. It's probably like mostly Iowa, I would say. When you see a road like this, agricultural fields like this, makes sense to go Iowa. It ends up being northeast of Cedar Rapids there. We both go Iowa, but my guess is a little closer. So we get 998 points. Now we move into quad damage, getting a little scary now. We up in around 10. In Colombia, yeah, pretty clear. Black car here, 2024. Looks east of Andes to me. Especially because it's quite green. We have these like very flat, segmented off plots of land. And we can't see a mountain in sight. Maybe there was a mountain to the west. But yeah, I just ended up clicking the 40 road. That might be 2020. Nah, I think it is 2024. But yeah, it ends up being a diabolical angle on the 65 there. Nice guess by Jewel. And at this point, you know, the nerves are getting to me a little bit. I'm like, oh, we're going to throw this. Are we going to get multi-merchanted here? So yeah, we'll see. Round 11. We do have a Brazil here. Very red soil and looks coastal. Just looks like Rio. Like, there's a lot of dirt roads in Rio that are still Gen 3 like this. So yeah, I just click Rio. And the game freezes. And I'm very scared that I don't get this guess in because, like, you can see me zooming in. Like, my internet was working fine. But it just takes a long time for this to load. And I'm freaking out because I'm like, should I refresh the page? What should I do? And then it finally loads in and we like kind of 5K, I guess. So it's good, but also at the same time, I was a little bit scared that I was going to have to ask for like some kind of ELO refund. And I had the video evidence to prove it. So, all right, another game against Noksi here, 2075. We're at 2064, so a pretty big battle. I mean, Noksi is, I would say, safer in terms of the points right now on the leaderboard. He's a little bit higher up on the rankings than I am. But yeah, very red soil here with a lot of cactus. We have some mountains in the distance, so yeah, I automatically think northeast Brazil probably works the best here. And definitely makes the most sense. I think the cactus spam mixed with the like coconut palms is a little bit weird. I'm like, okay, maybe I should just be hedging for Bahia as well. But yeah, it's very hard to region guess Gen 3 northeast Brazil. You can see me circling Bahia the entire time. But yeah, they end up going Colombia north. It's pretty understandable, but I don't know if you would get that big of hills there. I think it makes sense though at the end of the day with the landscape and such. Or like the flora that you get there, but I don't know if it makes with the hills, I guess. All right. Next round, white car here, sun north. We can slam a Chile here. Ends up being south of Santiago. I just end up clicking southwest of Santiago or something like that, but it ends up being east of Curico there. And we hop in round 3. In Thailand, always good to look around. We have a sign for Chiang Rai, which is for some reason to our west, I think. I mean, I just clicked Chiang Rai, and then I noticed, okay, it's pointing me west, which is, I mean, that's just a weird road sign. And if I had taken my time a bit more, I would have saw that the road number was 1174 and we could have found that, but it's fine. I mean, we're closer. I mean, he saw the info as well, so no big deal. We up in round 4, though. In weird Spain, I don't know. Architecture kind of threw me off a little bit, but I mean, we do have an antenna. We do have a Spanish pole there. House is a little weird, potentially. Like, I don't know. You give me this NMPZ without antenna? It's possible I could go like Turkey here or something with some of these some of the way that the houses were looking, I guess they're not exactly tiled though. So it's like fake tiles, it looks like. But yeah, I just end up clicking southeast of Madrid. It ends up being Palencia there, not Valencia. But yeah, we lose 321 points. We hop in around 5, 1.5x damage now. Okay, this one, I don't know. Like, I should be up elo, but like, I'm actually just trolling right now. Like, this is a pretty clear Western Australia, I think, especially with this car and the backlight. And funnily enough, that's my first thought. But like, I'm so scared of Vic that I just end up hedging South Australia, and it just ends up being Wah, and we lose a big chunk of health because I trolled. And now we're losing the game in which we really shouldn't be losing because I've trolled. This round, Mexico here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very good at Mexico, especially a dry round like this. I thought it could be a bit more northern, but I did notice some prickly pear here. It's also 2025 or 2023, which I don't know. It's very flat, and we just have some intermittent hills around. And I tried to look for any architecture that I could find, but yeah, I just couldn't really see anything. I guess there's a white building there. But I couldn't really place this like near Mexico City. So I end up going for like a YOLO send here. I'm just going like Chihuahua or something. Like, at the end of the day, I think this just looks so different. Like, I don't know. I think I kind of lost my head after the Wah incident. Yeah, it ends up happening. Hopefully, I don't know. We don't make more mistakes like that moving forward, but it happens, guys. And yeah, it just ends up being near Aguas Calientes, which makes a lot of sense with the flatness, dryness, the small hills all around us. And yeah, we lose 15 elo for that. So we're back down to 2049. And we get Bruno here, who's sitting at 1768, which is a little scary. Because Bruno, very good player. And if we lose this game, then we could lose like 30 elo. What is it capped at? I wonder what the max loss is capped at. I want to say it's like 30, 25 to 30, somewhere in that range. But I don't. Is there a max loss cap? I feel like there is. There has to be, right? I don't know. Because you can't just be losing like 50 elo for this game or something. Yeah, big building there. I should just be clicking Stockholm. But once again, you can see me shaking the screen in frustration because, like, dude, I should just be going Stockholm there. But I don't know. Like, I've lost it. Round 2. Red backlight here. Very dark bark trees. Kind of just looks like inland Queensland. So yeah, we end up sending it. Just slight tinge of red soil as well. Kind of fits for here. It's a pretty recognizable, like, flat Queensland once you see it a lot. Ends up being a bit more west of my plonk. They end up going Roma, which I think is probably the optimal hedge there. So yeah, we lose another 336 as we hop in round 3. And we are in Uruguay here. Yeah, I guess this does look coastal at the end of the day, especially that palm there, which kind of reminds me of like a Rome tree in a way. I don't know what kind of tree that is, but yeah, I guess it does look a bit more coastal. So I really like Bruno's guess here, and I like that he committed to it as well. Can respect that. But I knew if I just click middle, like, I'm not going to lose too many points, and we're going to need some big, I don't know, multi-merchant here. Okay, this one, I don't really want to talk about this one. I saw this one, all wood poles, no, like, no road lines. I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm just sending, California here. But then, dude, I don't know how my brain died. As you can see, I'm not playing the best. Because locked in Dallin would have got that one. But yeah, I'm just not locked in. So we both end up setting California. It ends up being Chile there. Yeah, not great for me. After I won that first game, it kind of went downhill. Yellow house here, like, reminded me of Nordic stuff, and I feel like I would never see a yellow house like that in Lith or Latvia. There's a little bit of language there with the double I vowel, so I'm like, okay, I think Estonia makes the most sense with that language as well. I was going to go Estonia without seeing that sign anyway. Ends up being max south Estonia, but we do pick up some points, so we break the flawless. Luckily, and we hop in around 6 double damage. Now, I trolled this one, for sure. Looks like Luzon, right? Very dry, coastal and such. So my immediate thought is this coast here. But I don't think the peninsula works. Like, it's not sticking out enough like you would see it. And I realize that, I guess, as I'm clicking here, I'm like, okay, we're too close to the peninsula. We got to be further down. Yeah, I think I just, like, I don't know. For some reason, I thought I had seen a round similar to this before. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm just going to click somewhere over here. Makes the most sense to me. Then I realized, yeah, things have gone quite wrong here. There's a big resort there. I really should be 5K'ing this, I think. And it's unfortunate that we're just not locked in enough. Yeah, it ends up being down there, which makes a lot of sense with the road angle as well. And I guess that's an island there, and not another peninsula, so it makes sense. Round 7. Nice guess by Bruno, by the way. Get the south coast there, because I surely didn't. All right, Turkey here, which I mean it's pretty good for me, I guess. I wouldn't call myself like one of the best Turkey players in the world, but I feel like I can handle myself in this country, at least, where a lot of people do tend to be a little bit lost. Yeah, very green here. And I know the truck coverage is like Izmir or like Denizli, like that area. Yeah, it ends up being like around there. I understand his Chivas guess, but I think the mountains would have looked a bit different around there. And that's just from me playing a decent amount of Turkey with like Gelotris and stuff. All right, round 8, triple damage. We have white car with antenna here. Pretty like, I mean, that's a Turkey thing, of course. And it's a pretty distinct landscape with these rolling hills. Like, it just looks like European Turkey. So yeah, we just end up clicking like west of Istanbul here. Ends up being a bit more west. Bruno does the same. We're just pretty equidistant from this location. And we are in the lead, but it's not a comfortable lead. Round 9, 3.5. We have black car here in Senegal. Driving right, we have the ladder poles. I think black car, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's only in Dakar province. So that's why I end up clicking there, ends up being there. We pick up another 203. So that's kind of big. Whittling away. Round 10, quad damage. In Kenya. And I'm like, oh no, it's Kenya 4x damage. I might be the worst Kenya play alive. Because like, I don't really care to study countries that have car meta. That's why I hate Kazakhstan. That's why I hate Oman. Because you can use a lot about the car. I guess Kenya doesn't have as much. So maybe I shouldn't be complaining as much, but yeah. I mean, to me, it looks like East of Nairobi, like rolling hill stuff. But yeah, it ends up being a bit more north, near Mount Kenya, which makes sense. But we pick up another 304 for that. And actually, that's going to end up mattering as we move in around 11 here. No spoilers. 4.5x damage. We're in Colombia. I noticed that it says via Vicencio to Yopal, which is east of Andes here. These two roads. So I know it's a road in between Via Vicencio and Yopal. So I noticed we have a bridge, so we're probably going over water there. So initially, I don't know what I'm doing here. I should just be scanning for bridges that line up with an off-road to the north, right? I noticed there's an off-road there. So I think I start near Via Vicencio, and I just work my way up here. Like, okay, no off-road south there, but yeah, I just leave it there for now. I don't know why I keep moving it up. I don't know. I feel like my scanning is okay sometimes, but then other times I kind of just like troll. Yeah, notice that there's no off-road there, so we can't be going there, we can't be going there. And we're just working our way up here, no off-road there. I probably should have noticed that the road to the east is curving like as soon as we hop off this bridge, pretty much. Like it's like we're curving almost right now. So I don't know. I scan this. Do I not scan? I just scanned over that. I think I just scanned over where it ended up being. I mean, that's obviously divided, so it can't be that. And also, I noticed that it's curving finally. I think this is the moment in which I noticed that it's curving. I'm like, does this work? No, it doesn't, because this one's curving at a way more significant amount than we are here. And I feel like that wouldn't be the road between Villavicencio and Yopal. So I'm like, okay, I must have missed something here. A better player than me would have found this like way faster. Yeah, I noticed, okay, that's not right. So we go back to scanning. I looked at that. Don't want. I'm looking at it again. And then I finally see this one. And I'm like, okay, this makes way too much sense. And I insta-send it because I'm like, okay, it makes too much sense. Curving to the east, we have a north off-road. There could be a double bridge there, although we can't see it. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I should just be 5K'ing this faster, but it happens. We end up getting the win off of that, luckily. But yeah, it's only 5 rating, unfortunately. And at this point, I think I might just be playing better no move than I do NMPZ. But yeah, we do the matchmaking trick once again, and we are back into another game here. Oh, here we go. We get a game against Mel. And we hop into round 1. In Spain, black car, red fields here. And yeah, it just looks like a Mediterranean looking landscape, so pretty easily just going to click Spain. And yeah, it ends up being west of Toledo there. And they go Extremadura, which makes sense. 41 damage, because it did kind of look like Portugal in a way. All right, round 2 here. I don't know how I always mess up. Dude, for some reason, okay, we clearly have the fog here. But for some reason, I'm like, okay, it's a paved road, east-west. Maybe it's just this road. I just end up sending here. And it ends up being Magadan. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm... Like, I feel like I've made one big blunder in every game that you've seen so far. And, like, that's... I just can't have that. Like, I feel like the last 2 weeks I've been playing pretty consistently. But I don't know. Starting off this week has not been great. So hopefully we can bounce back from it. And maybe be more locked in as the week progresses. But coconut palm spam there, so we end up hedging for Mindanao. They kind of do the same, and it ends up being some more islands. We up in around 4 in Brazil. Notice we have some sugarcane here. Very red soil. And white car 25. I don't know, maybe that fits better for Goiás. I'm actually not too well versed on a lot of the Brazilian cars and their copyrights, which I think is a normal thing. But yeah, I just ended up clicking Sao Paulo here with the sugarcane. It ends up being Goiás. I mean, to be fair, quite close to Sao Paulo. About as, well, not as close, but pretty close. And we're moving around 5, 1.5x damage now. Sun South here. I guess Sun is like pretty ambiguous here. I was a little bit confused by this round. Because that building to our east seemed super weird to me. It seemed like more Colombian. But I think the one thing that really saved me here, or like I was kind of leaning towards Mexico anyway. But I think the one thing that kind of saved me here was, do I ever zoom in on it? Yeah, there's a blue like satellite dish there, which is like the VETV, which is like services all of Mexico basically. And that blue satellite dish is, you're very hard pressed to find multiple of those in any of the other 3 countries with that antenna. And yeah, it looks like Guatemala or something like that, so I end up clicking Chiapas. It ends up being Chiapas, so we get the state streak, and we pick up 2072 points, so on the comeback trail, perhaps. Round 6, double damage. In what looks like Appalachia to me, no fronts. Just end up clicking, like, I don't know, just hedging everything. Hedge tri point of Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia. You can see me, like, looking at the Smokies as well. But ends up being Rocky Top or something, like Rocky Top Overlook in Virginia. So, tough. There was no front on that truck, but happens. Round 7, 2.5x damage. Probably just a visitor. In a Bulgaria here, we have red roofs, red tiled roofs. We have the Bulgarian like alternating hook poles. We have dead sunflowers. I guess they're not dead. Well, most of them are dead. So yeah, all of that. Bulgaria makes sense. Ends up being northwest of Plovdiv there. And we lose 180 points. Or sorry, we do 180 points of damage, rather. I've lost my mind. Round 8, triple damage. In pretty weird round. I don't know. I don't know the area code either, 645. I mean, if I was like more serious about the game, it's probably best to learn area codes and all of like every possible lick of knowledge that you can learn, but I do feel like I'm more of a vibes player in some ways. Some ways. This to me, I notice we have no fronts. Can't really distinguish what that plate is, to be completely honest with you. That one kind of looked like a Pennsylvania plate. So, like, I wasn't sure. Like, I wasn't sure if this was, like, a Pennsylvania plate or, like, I don't know. It looked more southern to me, like Tennessee or Kentucky. So I ended up going for the Tennessee guess. But yeah, I mean, I guess I should just be clicking West Virginia. I mean, maybe it was a Pennsylvania plate. But yeah, they ended up going Alabama as well, I think. But we hop into round 9 here, 3.5. In the Philippines here, Concrete Road driving right. I notice we have the tuk-tuk here. I'm looking for the copyright 2022. Yeah, I noticed we have the tuk-tuk here. And with that sidecar, I think it should be Luzon. Like, I should just be going Luzon here. And it looks so much like Luzon, like the houses look super Luzon, especially that gate there. Ugh. I don't know. Like, day insta-sent, I kind of panicked. I was like 22 minutes now. It just ended up being Luzon. Like, I probably trolled that one pretty hard. But it happens. We end up losing 21 ratings, so we're down to 2033. And we happen to one last game against Barry, who's at 2056. And we'll happen to round 1. And what looks like Mexico here. We have an interesting, like, red brick wall here. Couldn't really place this architecture. I thought it was quite odd. Because I'm like, I mean, this doesn't look like East Coast of Mexico. Doesn't really look like West Coast of Mexico. It looks too dry for that, especially with most of these trees. There's a random palm there, but I didn't really trust it. So yeah, I'm just like, okay, Jalisco makes sense. It ends up being Jalisco. We both go Jalisco, though. And nice guess by Barry as well. So we lose 82 points of damage for that one, as we hop into round 2. In Surabaya pavement, with like these diagonal rectangle-looking blocks. Yeah, we both click Surabaya. Barry gives me a wave. I give him a wave. And we hop into round 3. In this red backlight, I mean, it looks most like Rio Grande do Sul to me. I don't see a Piranha Pine in sight, but it actually ends up being Piranha. We both end up going Rio Grande do Sul. And that's going to be 110 damage. We've done 2 damage to Barry as we hop into round 4. In Argentina here. Sun clearly north. I don't know. I take a little bit to look for this one. But a lot of trolling has been done by me, it appears. We're also cat sitting someone's cat and like my buddy's cat, because he's like skiing or something right now, and the cat's going crazy because too much lore. Anyway, my buddy is someone that used to live here, and he used to live in this room, so I think the cat recognizes this room, so it always wants to get in here. But yeah. Anyway, couldn't find it. Ends up being, I guess, just in Catamarca province. But yeah. Round 5. 1.5x damage in Bolivia. Gen 3. Couldn't really place this one in Peru, especially with this cactus. I was like, okay, yeah. I think just Sucre makes the most sense here with the Gen 3. And yeah, we both end up clicking near Sucre. It ends up being this random hill in Cochabamba. Good to know for next time, maybe. I don't know. Kind of a weird road. But maybe that's something that somebody should know. Alright, this one, I don't know. I lost my mind a little bit here. It's a little schizo to say, but I feel like the shade of this yellow paint looks like the country that it's going to end up being. And I should have just trusted the shade of the yellow paint. But unfortunately, my brain kind of went like, But, I mean, there's a lot of other things that we should have trusted here. I I don't know. I couldn't really place this one because we have wood poles here. The flora on both sides feels like, I don't know, even almost volcanic at some points. So my brain is kind of in like, I guess I'm just going Mexico here because we have wood poles, yellow center line. But like, dude, I don't know. We make one blunder a game, as I mentioned, and we make that one blunder on the most important round. Ends up being Palawan there. I think I should just be going there with the concrete road and the yellow center line. But it happens. We end at 2018 for our first episode for this week. So hopefully we can bounce back a little bit. We'll see how that goes. But yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop any comments down below. And if you're still watching right now, we're about to hit 3K subs. So if you guys could drop some questions for the Q&A down below, that would be great. For the 3K subs Q&A. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. I will see you tomorrow for another GeoGuessr video. Peace.